Okay. Do you know what today is? It's our Podiversary. Hey, Podiversary. Let me stop before I get sued for singing someone else's song. Happy Podiversary, everyone. 1 year. I'm having a fake mimosa to celebrate. It's just Prosecco. Cheers. Delish. 1 year. Can you believe it? Who knew? Who knew? Let's get into it. There's a lot to talk about today. Take 27. What's good, peacemakers? Welcome back to another episode of the Piece for Peace Crafting podcast. I'm Michael, and this is my crafty corner of the YouTube verse. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you would like to follow me on other social media, you can do so. I'm on Instagram as Piece for Peace Crafting, and I'm on Ravelry as Piece for Peace Craft. If you're into music, you can join the playlist that's over on Spotify. Piece for Peace Crafting podcast playlist. Some of you have reached out to me because you had trouble finding it. I'm more than happy to send you the link. That's all the places you can find me, other than here. Welcome, welcome. If this is your first time joining, hello, hello. And I hope that you stick around for some fun, crafty bits. And for any returning viewers, you already know what's good, y'all. Welcome back. You guys, you all, I can't believe it. It's been 1 year, actually to the day. Like the first video I posted was on October 9th of last year, and I think it was a Friday. So I love it that it's the same day that I'm recording, celebrating, kicking off another hopefully cool year of getting to do this. It's been so wonderful getting to meet a bunch of people online, a couple people in person, like as of a month ago. And yeah, just building a really dope community. I can't believe it's been a year and that I just have been sitting down pretty much every 2 weeks recording and sharing stuff with you all and chatting with people in the comments and over on Instagram. It's been really dope. So shout out to y'all for watching and wanting me to continue putting out this content for you all. And yeah, all of us just enjoying crafting and hanging out together. It's so crazy. So thank you. There's a lot to talk about today. Not much to catch up on. Stuff's been happening. Workloads are becoming more and more as we like slowly re-enter society. Maybe it's the same for you. That's been kind of wild. A little bit of an adjustment. Definitely cutting into my knitting time. But it's been really fun having small projects. Oh, I think I'm missing one. I'll go and get it in a second. Small projects, like during my commute and stuff. Sometimes depending on traffic, like I could be sitting in traffic or commuting for 40 minutes, or the other day I was stuck because they were setting up for the marathon for like an hour and a half. So yeah, if I'm on the bus, I can whip out something and just knit and pass the time, which is really awesome. All right, anyway, let's get into it. There's a bunch of stuff to chat about today. Let's start here. So I was hosting a make-along, the shelved piece make-along, from the beginning of August to the end of September. And it was so cool seeing everyone post either over on Instagram or in Ravelry, just all of their finished projects or what they've been working on, things that they hadn't worked on in a while, or stuff like yarn that was stashed away that they had a plan for but they didn't. And so that's come to an end. Thanks everyone for posting and putting things in there. There's some of everything, which is really awesome. That was the point. And so I had my roommates who don't use Ravelry because they don't craft. I told them, here are the numbers that you need to pick between. It's better than me using a random number generator because I catch them off guard, they shout numbers at me, and then we all go back to doing whatever it is that we were doing. So I have 4 people who are going to be getting various prizes. There's some yarn stuff that I've shown in previous episodes, a couple bags that people have sent. And so the winners are, or people who are getting prizes, I should say. Everyone's a winner because we all finished something. So number 4, which is a Juggle Goddess. I'm saying everyone's Ravelry name and not their government name because you didn't get permission to just be shouting out your government name on the internet. So Juggle Goddess was one of the prize winners. Cookier 293, I believe, is another one. Novel Knit Girl is number 3. And our 4th one is Kitten Whiplash. I think they also told a story in the thread about how they finished this sweater or this jumper and someone saw it out and then like they asked if they could like use it in a film. I'm pretty sure that's the conversation. I'll have to go back and double check. But anyway, those are the 4. Look out for a message from me over in Ravelry so I can get all of your info. You can send it back to me and then I can get those fun little gifts sent out to you. And then because this community is so dope, Caleb over at Drowning in Yarn, I got to meet him a couple weeks ago. Remember when I showed my haul from Miss Pearl? So I got to meet him and his partner Brian while I was there, which was really dope. And he reached out and he is offering 5 of his Christmas stocking pattern to 5 extra people, which is like so wild. So I'm gonna keep those 5 people a surprise, and you'll randomly be getting a thing from him over on Ravelry with a pattern for that, since I know we're in spooky season, but everyone, poor turkey season, it just gets overshadowed because everyone's so excited for the winter holidays. But since the winter holidays are gonna be here sooner than we know, it'd be a great time if you want to get a stocking done. You can go ahead and use that pattern to do so. So thank you to him for donating those, and to everyone else who sent something as giveaway things. I really appreciate it. It's so dope. It's so fun going to the post office and sending people things that that have been sent in. Like, I don't know, it's like very heartwarming. So thank you to all of you for participating, and yeah, everyone who sent in stuff. I literally can't even. All right, shall we maybe talk about a little knitting? I have kind of a lot, but not a lot. I say that all the time, and then it's like 40 minutes later. Okay, let's get into some FOs, shall we? We'll start small. So last time I was showing you all, I'd made a couple dishcloths because I just needed some small projects to work on instead of something big, because I didn't want to cast anything on because the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along was going to be starting soon, and I was just like, I can't start another big project because I want to focus all of my energy on that. So I made another dishcloth using the same KnitPicks Dishy twist, and so here that is. What? These are so fun. I actually think this one is going to be used in our kitchen. Here's the funny thing though. I didn't bring that. You all, I am so unprepared. I didn't bring the pattern in here, but I will link it below. Everything will be down below. It was a free pattern over on KnitPicks, and it was really cool, but because the Dishy twist, this cotton yarn is like 2 colors, you can't see the pattern on it. So there's supposed to be little, maybe a tiny bit, little lines and like seed stitch in the middle. And I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like, I want to do something other than that grandma's favorite. And so whatever, I had this already, I was using it. So I was like, I'll just continue using it. And then when I was done, I was like, I can't see this pattern at all. But it's fine. It's gonna be cleaning up messes, so it doesn't even matter. So that was number 1, tiny little dishcloth. We love it. I didn't have much of that yarn left over, so I made 3 from one little ball of it. I can't remember how much is in there. Again, I'm so unprepared today. But that's, regardless, you can, if you order some of that Dishy, you can definitely get 3 dishcloths out of it for sure. Like, no problem. All right, moving right along. Okay, my next thing is sort of like what I did last time. It's a 2-for-1. So I had started the Bois de Coulonge Hat by Jean-Philippe Cliche, and I ran out of what I was using of my KnitPicks yarn, so I ordered more. It came, and I got to finish the hat. So here is, you all, it's so flippin' cute. Here is the completed hat. So I think it's supposed to be worn this way, but when you turn it to the side, it has these cool little V chevrons on the side of it. This little folded brim, which is super cute. So again, this hat is, it's 2 strands of fingering weight held together with 2 strands of mohair. And so I used the Capretta in lilac as my fingering, and then the mohair, which is there aloft, is plover. It's really squishy, like the halo on it, is awesome. I knit this one to pattern, so I used size 7, US 7 needles, and I knew that that was gonna be too small for me because I have a big head. And one of my roommates, she has a smaller head, and I told her, like, when I had to stop, I was like, I'm gonna give you this hat. She was like, amazing. That I would give it to her. So she's getting this one. She tried it on, it looks so cute. I didn't block this either, just because it looked fine to me. So maybe if she feels like it's a little too snug, maybe I'll give it a light little block. But we'll see. I'm so happy with it. Like, if you want just a fun, you have to think a little bit hat pattern, hands down would absolutely recommend this. Just because it looks so awesome. Oh my God, I love it. So this one's solid. And then I showed last time that I started one using Trilogy yarn in her colorway I'm Here For It, and held it together. Instead of using mohair, I used her Surrey base. Blah, it's so good. So I finished this one for myself, and I just went up 1 needle size. So this was done on an 8, and so this is what I was talking about before, right? Like, you can have the same pattern, and just because it's knit in different yarn, it's gonna look slightly different. So the solid one, you can really see the V's, and then on this one, because it's more variegated, and I love how it's striped, if I hold it close, you can really see them. The little chevrons or the V's are a little more subtle, which is totally fine for me. Yeah, and I love it regardless. And because I knit it on a bigger, I love the little bloop at the top. On a bigger needle, it fits me perfectly. Ooh, I look cozy. What? Come through winter. I'm gonna pretend like this is gonna be my thumbnail. It probably won't be. So I love it. I would keep it on, but it's like in between weather here, where like some days it'll be like 80, and then in the evening it's like 60, high 50s, and then other days it's like, Mother Nature is only going to give you like 68 degrees outside. So choose what you wear wisely, or pack 8 different things like I do. So this hat's really awesome. It's super squishy. I love the way that the I'm here for it knit up. I'm here for it, shall I say? And I have another skein of it actually in a fingering weight that I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it, but after seeing this one work up, I'm super excited, or to see how it works up. I'm really excited to see what else I can do with it. I don't want to make socks out of it. I want it to be, I need something bigger. So I'll figure that out. I'm not really worried about it because I have a bunch of other things before I get to that I want to do. So I'm not ready for it to be cold, but like we gonna be cute. I'm ready for it to be cold. So those are 3 small things I finished. Should we talk about should we talk about this? Oh, I almost fell. Tragic. So I finished my sweater. So this is the Horatio sweater, also by Jean-Philippe Cliche, and it's done. I put it on today and my roommates were like, whoa, that looks really good, and it fits you so well. Which, obviously I said thank you, but it's just like a true testament to like, if you're, especially those of us who like to knit garments, and I'm new to it, like I just started knitting sweaters for myself last year, like you can make it to your body, which is like really dope. I have long arms and I can never find things with sleeves that are long enough, and so like now that I'm making my own, like everything fits me. So we've seen most of this already, the body of it. The last time I showed it, I had finished the body, so it has the same little trim on the bottom. It's a double hem. I don't really want to stand up. And so all I had to do was the sleeves. I do my sleeves 2 at a time. And someone reached out in the last video and was like, oh, do you like have something that you could point me in the direction of to talk about how you do them? Or can you show them? I don't think that I would be really good at showing it, but I will remember today to drop the link down below for the video that I watched that was really helpful for me, just in how to pick them up, and then you just do them like 2 at a time, magic loop. It's great. Oddly enough, the way that the pattern is written, it gives you 2 options for how you want to do your decreases. I went with the one that was just like, you are going to do your decreases and then and then knit a few rows for X amount and then do your decrease. Excuse me. And it worked out perfectly. And then the end of it is a longer little ribbing. I will be honest, I misread part of the ribbing pattern and was doing something different, but I love the way that it turned out regardless, because you can still see the rib. It's just a little bit more subtle. And then you add this also little contrast color before you bind off. All of this is done in fisherman's wool that I got from Lion Brand, so it was pretty cost effective for me. I think I used almost 3 skeins of it to make the sweater, and then like we're not even counting how much I used for the trim because it was barely anything. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I'm so excited. This collar, which I feel like is on a lot of the sweaters I've done, they've had this like rolled little ribbed collar. I love this little detail on the shoulder before it goes into like these other raglan increases. And obviously the structure detail on the front is super boss, and yeah, absolutely love it. I think the color's really dope. My friends are performing soon, so I was like, oh, I think now that this is done, I'm gonna wear this to opening night since I know the theater's gonna be a little bit cold. So yeah, this sweater, highly recommend, definitely 10 out of 10. Very well written. Bunch of different sizes. Looks great. I'm gonna stretch my arms out. Oh, and when I was weaving in my ends, which I did, I know some of you are like, but did you weave in the ends though? I did on the body. Did I have to do it on the sleeves too? I don't think I had to do it on the sleeves, but in the body, I just did a Russian join, so I had no ends to weave in like as I was going. It was just literally everywhere that I bound off. Really awesome. We love that, because who really wants to spend all their time weaving in ends? All right, I'm gonna take a quick pause, which won't mean anything for you all because the video will just keep going, and I'm gonna grab one of my whips that I completely forgot to bring in here. I was rushing, and it happens. One sec. Hi, we're back. All right, so that is all of the things that I finished over the past 2 weeks. Few small things. Obviously this was kind of big because I finished a sweater. Sleeves kind of take a long time. Not if you do them 2 at a time. Although it's probably the same amount of time. Whatever. It seems like it's faster because I'm doing them 2 at a time. Anyway, so let's get on to a couple of things that I have started. It was so nice clearing off my needles like before the mystery knit along started. Like, I literally finished everything what was that? Like Wednesday maybe? Wednesday? Thursday. No, Wednesday. And I was like, oh, I can wait until Friday and not work on anything. And that was a bull-faced lie. So I decided to cast on a pair of socks because why not, right? So I'm using, I'll pull out, oh, if it's not stuck, I'll pull out one of the balls. So I'm using one of the, I think it's new, Felici sock yarns in the Game Over colorway. So there's like some light blues, dark blues, this little like fake pink. It's so faded, it's cool. Some yellows, some reds. It's really cute. I was like, I bet these will make for fun socks. And so what I did is because of you all being amazing and sending me a lot of different recommendations for different toe-up sock patterns, I was like, oh, well, since you don't have anything to work on, maybe now's the time for you to figure that out. So I went through and I favorited all of them over on Ravelry. And then I just started looking through them. There's a bunch that I'm like, ooh, I really want to try this, or like, oh, I know that this is going to be a bigger pattern that's going to give me more information. But since I was like, I'm not in a hurry, but like, I just want to do something now, I decided to go with the Trusty Toe Up Socks by Tanis from Tanis Fiber Arts. And I'll be honest, I was a little intimidated. Just like whenever I would see people doing toe-up socks, I'm like, oh, I don't really know if that's for me. It looks like I don't know what. And so, whatever. I looked up the video for Judy's Magic Cast On, and I think I watched like a Very Pink Knits video, and I'll link that below too, just because I know a couple people were like, oh, I would be interested in trying toe-up socks too. And so I watched the Very Pink Knits video, because why wouldn't you? And I was like, okay, I think I can do this cast on, which I did it, And if I'm being honest, there's some tomfoolery and some trickery in it because I don't understand why it works. I really, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like we're in witchy season. That seems really witchy to me. I don't know. So it worked. And it's so funny because I learned how to knit socks on DPNs, so I understand when people say like, "Oh, they're so fiddly," blah 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 blah. But let me tell you, my first time doing this cast on, I was like, "Oh no, ma'am, this is too fiddly for my life." But it ended up working out once I got a couple rows in. Obviously, I was patient with myself and just kept going. And because I'm extra and I like doing things 2 at a time, I cast both of them on. 2 at a time, magic loop, always US 1. And I know the last pair of socks I did 68 count. And so for this one, because it was my first time, I was like, let me just go back to 72 just because I don't know what I'm doing, and I know that they'll fit me regardless. So here are those. I love, oh my gosh, the blues already I'm really into, and so a little bit of the red. So basically the toe shaping is done, and now I'm just onto the foot. And so for me, I am gonna basically just knit a tube and weigh the yarn when I'm close to the end and leave myself, I don't know, about 10, 15 grams, and just do an afterthought heel so that the stripes can stay the same, and then I can just cut in, like I'll mark off where I need to cut in and then do an afterthought heel. I've done those before. They're fun. I don't mind cutting the yarn. I think it's silly. So yeah, I love it, I love it, I love it. So these have been my bus, like while I'm on the bus knitting, which has been just so dope. I like put on music or I listen to some audio podcasts. And it really just like, I like forgot how much I enjoyed it. It's like, oh, right. Like you could just sit here and do this versus, and I mean, I stare out the window too, cause my route is like right along the lake. So that's nice, but it's good to just like have something. I was taking my Switch for a while, and that's really fun too, but if you play video games, you know that you might get a little like, ugh, or like you want to say something that might not be appropriate to just shout on the bus. And so I was like, maybe you should not do this for this game in particular. You should try to play something that's a little more friendly. Speaking of which, I should go check on my Islanders. They're probably mad at me. Poor Animal Crossing. I'll get back to it. All right, so that's the socks that I started. Now, the last thing that I have to show is, we all know the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along started. And also fun that my like Podiversary is in October, because that means it's always going to be this time of year that the Mystery Knit Along is happening, or until he decides he doesn't want to do it anymore, which I doubt that will happen anytime soon. So if you are also doing it and you're like, I don't want to see any spoilers, I'll tell you when I'm going to show what I've done so far on it, but let me show you the yarn that I'm using first. So I wound everything up, and I'm using Murky Depths. They're deep sock, and I don't have the label in here, but I've talked about it before, and her shop will be linked below, so you can definitely go and check it out. I don't have 5 hands, so I'm gonna do it in 2 sections. So here's my first batch. This neon-y yellow, ugh, life, I live. So this is Scion, this is Zest, this is Hot House Flower, which is this like fun, what is that, fuchsia pink, and in the pattern, I think everyone kind of knows now, even if you're not doing it, you're still participating because you're cheering us on. He was just like, pick your color A as like a nice color pop, and then your color B should be something that's gonna frame all the other colors, and then everything else just like grab one and go. So I picked the Zest for my color A and the Cyan for my color B, so that it would frame everything. And then my other, where am I putting things? My other two colors are, these have to go in little yarn holder thingies soon, are these two. So two lighter grays. This one is Silvery Moon, and this one is Touch of Gray, because it's just a touch of gray. All right, so those are my colors. I'll admit I didn't have them wound up yesterday. So I got up in the morning, saw the video came out, watched a little bit of it, and then I started winding everything like before I went to work. And then I came home from work and I finished winding stuff and decided to cast on. So if you don't want to see anything, now's your chance to, I don't know, skip forward like a couple minutes. I'll wait. Are they gone? Okay, cool. So Clue 1 is out, and there's 4 sections, and I've done 2 of them, which is wild, and just tonight. But as we all know, like, the beginning of a shawl is so small, so it's like, oh, this is neat. Okay, so here is, are you all ready for this? What? Here is, let me see if I can spread this out even more. What I have so far, it's like a baby shawl. It's like a little, oh, sad. Okay, so section 1 was literally this. I live. Like, I finished it and I felt like, woo! All right, that's enough for tonight. I've accomplished so much. And then section 2 gets into this really cool sort of, what is that? Like it's not a garter ridge. Anyway, it's just like these little ridges with all these little color pops and changes throughout, which I'm really happy that I went with the cyan color as my color B, because I think it frames, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It frames all the other colors really well. And it's kind of graphic too. And what else do I have to say about it? I'm enjoying for this section how all the colors play together. Like, I like the 2 bright colors being next to one another, but then they're like stopped by the 2 different tones of gray, or I guess 3 if you count the color B. Yeah, playing in between. I think it's gonna block out and look really neat once we figure out what that's gonna look like. Clearly there's no pattern for me to show because it's a mystery, and there's no pictures in what we've gotten so far, other than the original, like, here's about the make-along, that was just like telling you about the yarn choices that you could pick in like kits and stuff. So this is all I have for right now. It's like a little epaulette. Not really. It's a baby shawl. And once I'm done hanging out with you all and I get this uploaded, I'm going to pick up for section 3, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. I was watching the video and I was like, oh, okay, this is really dope. But I'm mostly excited to get to the last section of this clue because I can't. So here we go. All right, so that's all I have for right now for the Stephen West mystery knit along. I keep playing with it. It could also be a Dickie. Just like out here strutting your stuff. So yeah, the next time I see you, 2 more clues will be out. So hopefully if I can keep up my, like, the pace of it, I'm not really stressing about it, then I'll have at least a little bit of clue 3 to show, because 2 will come out and then 3 will be the day before I film again. So yeah, we'll see. We shall see. All right, that's all my knitting. I have a little bit of piecemeal to show. really fast. So there I was, just hanging out, doing some knitting, and I got a message on Instagram from Brittany, who is the dyer behind By the Moonlight Studio, and she reached out to me with a really sweet message asking if she could send me something, dye me something up, and I was like, oh sure. So we had a quick conversation back and forth. She's like, my mom and I love watching, so hi Britt, or Brittany, I don't know what you like going by, and hello mom. I hope you all are enjoying this episode. And so she was like, can I send you something? I was like, yes. She's like, what are your favorite colors? I'm like, orange. Anything in the orange family I live for. And she's like, okay, great. So I got this in the mail. I can't even. So this is on, give me just 1 second. This is a 2-ply superwash, 80/20, which we love. So it's 80 merino, 20 nylon, and wait a second. The big skein is 400 yards, 400 grams, and the smaller one is a 20-gram mini. So here is what she came up with. What? So cute. Definitely giving me like a little variation. I love this little dark business right here. And this mini's adorable too. It actually matches one of the colors in the shawl that I'm making. So I'm not sure what these are gonna be. I kind of want to do socks out of them just because they would be really special. Oh, sorry. Let me show you her thing. And she even sent a little moon stitch marker. Oh, it's all white, so it's getting a little blown out. Her shop will be linked below, faux show. So please go over and check her out. Absolutely love this. Thank you so much for sending this over. Yeah, the color is wild. It's like very, this is making it seem a little brighter than it actually is, but it's giving me fall vibes and I'm here for it. So these will hopefully, maybe once those socks are done. Oh, and I have another thing already wound up. Okay, soon enough, these are gonna be socks. They might live in one of these cubbies for a little bit, but I will definitely be getting these sent on. So again, go check out By the Moonlight Studio. I'll have it linked below. Get yourself something nice. All right, so I think that's kind of it for all the yarniness. Again, anyone who is going to be receiving something from me over on Ravelry, I will send you a message so you can send me your information. And for those 5 people who are getting a pattern from Caleb, everyone just go and check your Ravelry because you might be one of them. And I'm not going to say who they are because I want it to be a surprise. Lastly, let us do a little music share. So again, you can go over to Spotify if you have Spotify and look up Piece4PeaceCrafting podcast playlist. It's really fun over there. I always, or now, I keep the collaborative aspect of it open. So it'll go open this evening and it'll be open for a week. So if you want to add songs to it, go for it. And then a week from today, I'll close it and then you won't be able to add anything for a week. So today, I figure it's Podiversary. Let's dance and have some fun. Just move around a little bit. And so my recommendation this week is M.I.A.'s Kala album. I want to say this is her first album, maybe? Am I wrong? No, I think this is her first album. So this is her first album. It's very much like dance, world music. It's so good. I was playing it for some of my students, my high school students that I was teaching this past week. And they were like, oh, what is this? And I was like, oh, it's M.I.A. And they were like, oh, that doesn't sound right. So anyway, I love that. My recommendations for this album, I always say, obviously, the whole thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be recommending it. Also, I only buy albums on vinyl if I'm gonna listen to the whole thing. Like, it has to be a banger start to finish. So I would recommend Bamboo Banga, This is hard. Okay, Bamboo Banga, Bird Flu is so good. Where do I want to take you all? Oh, Paper Planes, which everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people know Paper Planes. It was in Slumdog Millionaire, I believe. It's just a good song. And one of my favorites from this album is Come Around, which is a song with Timberland, who is a producer, rapper. He worked a lot with Missy Elliott and a bunch of other people. But Come Around is super underrated. Literally my favorite song on this album. It is, actually, I know I say this a lot, but like I'm gonna go put this on right now and just like bop around my house. So M.I.A.'s Kala, check it out. Other than that, thank you all for tuning in and watching and hanging out a little bit with me today. I hope you all were working on whatever it is you're working on. It's been cool to get to do this with everyone for the past year, and I hope that it will continue. Not planning on stopping anytime soon. I know I freaked a couple of people out when I said this is the last one of the year, and then I said of my podcasting year. So yeah, that's it for right now, and I hope everyone gets some fun crafting done in the next 2 weeks, and until then, don't forget, make a piece, spread some peace. Peace.